which is, if not the most corrupt nation in Africa,
this interview,
and
man.
it could be the most corrupt nation in the world, Minister Farrakhan.
Oh, now, Mr. Wallace.
It is the most corrupt nation that I had ever covered. I've been there 25 years ago, and I've been there as recently as last year.
Fine. So what? 35 years old. That's what that nation is. Now, here's America, 226 years old. You love democracy, but there in Africa, you're trying to force these people into a system of government that you just have accepted. 30 years ago, black folk got the right to vote. You're not in any moral position to tell anybody how corrupt they are. You should be quiet and let those of us who know our people go there and help them get out of that condition. But America should keep her mouth shut wherever there's a corrupt regime, as much hell as America has raised on the earth. No, I will not allow America, or you, Mr. Wallace, to condemn them as the most corrupt nation on earth when you have spilled the blood of human beings. Has Nigeria dropped an atomic bomb and killed people in Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Have they killed off millions of Native Americans? How dare you put yourself in that position as a moral judge? I think you should keep quiet, because with that much blood on America's hands, you have no right to speak. I will speak because I don't have that blood on my hand. Yes, there's corruption there. Yes, there's mismanagement of resources. Yes, there is abuse. There's abuse in every nation on earth, including this one. So let's not play holy to moralize on them. Let's help them.
I'm not moralizing. I'm asking a question, and I got an answer.
Why would you put it as the most corrupt regime in the world? That doesn't make sense.
Can you think of one more corrupt?
Yeah, I'm living in one. I'm living in one.
Right.
Yes, you've done a hell of a thing on this earth, so you should not be the one to talk. You should be quiet when it comes to moral condemnation, in my judgment.
All right, so this interview is a classic. So this is by Minister Louis Farrakhan and Mike Wallace. 60-minute interview happened a while ago. It's been referenced in various, music and various, pop culture. I mean, Jay-Z referenced this in his God Did verse on the DJ Khaled, Grammy performance, record that, I think 2 years ago. But my question really, this conversation is still relevant up until today. At least now we know what corruption is. We know that it's not only African countries that are corrupt, but most importantly, do we think that this analogy is still applicable in 2025 to African countries, which is that, African countries haven't had a good start. Most African countries are still young, so we can't say that they are, is corruption is like what is holding them back and stuff like that. I wonder if the context of this interview still prevails today. And I think two things can be true at the same time. I think some of the content is still relevant today, but I think some of it, it's that African countries are a bit too slow as well. But this was an interesting conversation. I just kind of like came across it, and thinking of like the African continent, Minister Farrakhan talks about Nigeria, corruption and all that stuff. And, I wonder if this is still relevant today. And the order of the day in these countries, especially Nigeria, is this still what it is today? And can Nigeria use Mr. Farrakhan, point as an excuse? But yeah, it was an interesting conversation. Let me know what you guys think.